It's Steve! It's Steve! Bro, the guy... Plato just spotted Steve! That's through here like this. Let's go, guys! I freaking bit him right 2 fangs in. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, hell no. Where's your phone? Show me the time on your phone.
It's 4:28 a.m.
The badass. Houston, there has been a truncation.
Before the trip even starts.
This guy forgot his passport. Fortunately, I checked, like, after we left our apartment. I was like, do you have your passport? And he was like, no. And I was convinced he was joking. And it turns out he's not.
You know, maybe a cataclysmic event so early on could be a good sign, you know? Getting the truncations out of the way before the trip starts. Yeah, it's got me all kinds, species, varieties, genetic clades, and subspecies of fucked up.
So basically, me and the little Jitterson here are flying to Laos. And now is the time where we got to start sorting out all our flights and whatnot. So let's just skip until we get there. It's going to be like 8 hours time. Oh God.
I just visited Thailand. Let's go.
Holy crap, guys, we've arrived. This is the point of the video where we're too busy just like sorting everything out and getting going to do any proper updates. But I'm driving on the right-hand side of the road in a left-hand drive car. And that's got me fucked up in multiple different dimensions, time zones, universes, species, clades, subgroups, anything you can think of.
I'm predicting some kind of fatal car crash.
The name's Speed, David Speed, and we found in the middle of nowhere, in a time of need, in a time of desperation. It's gonna be so loud. We found some kind of local kebab joint, and it looks freaking good. It looks freaking good.
It looks interesting.
You know, sometimes you have to go further afield.
Yeah, and that's when things can get very planktony and krilly.
These Laos roads have got me all kinds of messed up, man. Like, there's so many sections where it's like decent and then it just turns to this. And I'm filming during a less stressful part where there's not such deep potholes, which are like scraping the bottom of the car. Just dusty, crap, slow. We're running the 10 kilometers per hour meta right now, so not gonna get into our location until like 10 p.m. Also is a blazing full moon. All right, we just got to our accommodation. I haven't been able to update much because we've been driving, but it's 10 p.m. We actually got here ahead of schedule, which means we are going to go out and do a little bit of herping, just a little bit, maybe a couple hours. Gonna check. We're hoping to get our main target nice and early. That would be amazing. But as always, you've got to temper your expectations with herping. We'll just be happy to see some stuff. But lifers are on the cards. Showstoppers are even on the cards. Let's get to it. What do you think?
I'm gonna be gnoming in the caves.
Caves. All right, just outside the cave entrance, we picked up our first reptile. Actually, we saw a lizard on the way in, and a guy. Well, the battens, Russ. We were just having breakfast, and I was paying. And David ran out here and parked his kebab here so we could jump up on this wall and catch, well, it's actually low-key at one of our targets here. I can even show proof of me and David discussing this beforehand. It's the Laotian form of Chrysopelia ornata, which I guess most of you, since this was a good view we had, will immediately be able to tell, if you're familiar with this species, that it's got the really distinctive black bands on it, far more blacks overall. And especially when they're moving and in pictures, it's very like obvious that they have more of these like black bands, which is a cool little like clade here, a subgroup, possibly a subspecies or entirely cryptic species of ornata, of which definitely multiple exist across Southeast Asia, including the flower pattern one in Northwest Thailand and this one in Laos. It's kind of cool finding a snake here because Laos is not known for being a great place to find high numbers of snakes, and we are here at a time of year which is not generally ideal for just snake activity. But first morning here in our place, and we got a really nice snake here, the first Chrysopelia I've seen in 2024, I believe, and it's a super nice one as well. That bands are beautiful. That rocks compared to like the Thai form. I love the more black. It's like a almost Sumatranus viper like Chrysopelia.
You get an even more black variant.
Yeah, they seem to get like progressively more and more and more dark as they get on. Quite a nice view here. First time seeing this area in the daytime, and it's not disappointing so far. Plato described these rocks as nature's knives. They are incredibly sharp here. Look at those ones on the right. All right, first proper day here amongst the cast. Last night, the second we got to the cave, my phone ran out of storage, so I didn't film anything. We only saw one snake. It wasn't our target. It was a Nangson bronzeback and a bunch of geckos and stuff like that. But today we're going to be out giving it a good shot. A little bit of strolling around the daytime, scouting out one cave. I'll film a bit of the one we went to last night, and then tonight we're going to try some different areas, be out and about, you know, scanning, searching. So I'm climbing up here to show you where we've seen several of these like cool tree frogs. I don't know exactly what the species is. I haven't had time to research the frogs of this area, but they seem to dwell inside these caves. And they have a really nice mossy coloration. This one's great, but I'm dying here, so I can't show any more. Little update from some more unproductive cave exploration. I'm climbed up this little way here. Oh, there's a frog there as well. Don't know how well you can see that. Little one of these cave-dwelling raccophorids. And yeah, I don't know where David went. I pointed out some cavern I had my eyes on. He went down it and we never saw him again. Might go check up on him soon. All right, this is some of the caving we're doing. I'm not exactly the smallest person in the world, but so I have to get my ass through here like this and then sit up on the other side. I found that more comfortable than the crawling method. You coming through, Plato? Hey, yo!
You found me. The gnomes, they're real. The legends are true.
Just give him a little red hat and European mythology will be written.
That lock is not spruce. Okay. Yeah.
Just gotta get your ass through, boy.
I'm through. It's not actually as hard as it looks.
Yeah.
Just be careful, there's one rock that like moves like crazy.
All right, we're heading into the forest again. Just went nightfall. Positives, nice thick overcast sky tonight. Negatives, we've been getting skunked so far on our targets, but that can all change very quickly, and we're gonna give it a proper run out tonight. Starting at a decent time, I think it's like 7 p.m. or somewhere, maybe a little bit after that. And without further ado, let's find some snakes. All right, shortly after entering the forest, we got our hands on a batan sapras. Kind of an interesting one as far as they go, because it's got quite a strong neck patterning, which we definitely don't get on the Thai and Malaysian clade sapras. It's also got the strange kind of a pale body pattern, and then with a very, very vibrant head. It's kind of interesting. You know, at the end of the day, we see vine snakes so much, so we're so blasé to them. But this is a vine snake in an entirely new locality, and it definitely looks different. So I'm gonna say, cool. Look at little Jit go on his 1 mile per year speed. On all fours. Bro's literally gone wild Charles mode. All right, second snake of our climb through this cast is this little mock viper. A kind of soft bodied, very, very soft, smooth snake. Not iridescent, it's matte, but still very smooth. And it's a sort of adult brown morph. Doesn't look too dissimilar from the ones we see in Thailand or anywhere else, to be honest. These are super wide ranging. They're almost in every habitat in Southeast Asia, pretty much every forested habitat at least. They love the shit. Even where it's as dry as where we are right now, we knew the semi-dynastids will be about, and sure enough, they were. And while I was climbing up some steep stuff, I picked this guy up and brought it up a few meters to show the guys. Ooh, it also bit me a lot. What the hell? Hold on.
Oh, curses. Brackles! You old dog! Gonna be a long night.
Yeah, we've been hiking for a long time, and look at this. This is what we've got to now. At least people were kind enough to install this. But yeah, we've been almost hiking for 3 hours. I mean, 3 hours including the bit before I turned on my map tracking. But we're like almost there now. Very, very close. The cool thing about being down in such a remote limestone valley is you've got primary trees here. Like this is I mean, you can tell by the spotlight, absolutely massive. We're talking like 4.5, 5 meters wide. Check this out, guys. Inside this cave is no snakes, but there's this like amazing crystal clear pool with fish just everywhere along the side in it, taking refuge, waiting for the rainy season, when this cave is totally underwater in the peak of the rainy season, as is very evident. And there's even frogs swimming about in here, especially in that one over there, but they kind of swam away. That's beautiful, man. Very tempting to take a dip, and I'm so thirsty.
What do you mean?
All right, along the cast, we got one of these cool skinks, some kind of sphenomorphid. It's got a cool orange tail and some actually decent like patterning on it, considering these can be kind of bland at times. Plato said he saw one of these that was bigger with an even more vibrant tail. But so maybe they get fairly large, but again, I have no idea what the species is on this. It's nice though. All right, heading back now. You can see Plato ascending. Still a chance we find something on the way back, so fingers crossed, I hope so. Now we've done and still are doing the type of hike that would send Keith Weller to the emergency room. So we deserve something, that's for sure. So we just did the hike from hell. Like nothing on the way back so far. We're dying, climbing casts. But David says, just as we were about to get back to the car, that he caught a strange snake. Where was it?
Just crawling through the leaf litter. Like, I just saw like the tiniest shimmer of scales through the leaves. I want you guys to take guesses. I'm not even entirely sure what it is.
Xenodromatid.
Yeah, I was going to say like
some kind of
Parafimbrios? Fimbrios colossi maybe?
What I think it is, I don't know if we're even in range for.
Argyrophis.
No way, the fucking worm! Let's go! Is this Milleri or what?
The Alaskan bullworm.
Surely not, right?
No, it's diardi. It's diards with the nondescript sidebarring. The fucking elastin.
I thought Diardi was like way more elongated and
May I
thinner.
touch him this time?
Man, I just picked it up.
Please, man.
Can you wait like 2 seconds before you start fondling your subterranean oriental worm? Well, hey, at least there's a little something for us. A friggin' rare blind snake crawling around at 2 a.m. in the morning in the frickin' dry forest next to the car. What the pissy rats.
2 a.m. Who up playing with a worm?
I'm up playing with my worm right now.
My first thought when I saw it was that it was like some big ass lygosoma.
Yeah.
Either way, I was all about trying to catch. And then...
We're on a diards or potentially undescribed argyrophid.
I don't think it's... I'm pretty sure Diards is like way more elongated.
No, diards is thick like Miller's and has the like Miller's has a more like clean transition sometimes. Anyway, that's a snake right there of
Thanks
the
for the
fossorial
dopamine.
variety. All right, guys, we're voyaging. It's a new day. Obviously, I didn't roll an outro last night because I was, as we say around here, quite deceased. But we're heading down south on what I could only describe as prime ethnic Laotian road to check out a new cave. It's a bit of a mission we're on, whereby we have to procure some kind of canoe, which may or may not happen, and then find our way again to a somewhat remote cave where we don't have a trail route mapped out. But I'm pretty confident we'll be able to make this work if we can get there before sunset, which I think we're on for. So I'll update you very shortly. Exquisite views here where we pulled up. We're about to go on a little kayaking venture, and I'm pretty nervous because I don't have a dry bag for my camera gear, but the last like few times I kayaked I never toppled, so that's optimistic. Look at this environment, absolutely beautiful here. Alright, little update here. We've sorted out our canoes and David's about to load our food, which we're taking into the forest, onto his one. And he's going to be taking our like smaller kind of bags and so forth. Whereas Plato and I are going to be taking the second canoe with just us and our main backpacks on it. A lot of cortisol because of the fact that we got a lot of camera gear in these. But I mean, I've been in these big canoes a lot and I never feel like they're going to tip over. I just have PTSD from one particular incident when I was in university.
I don't know about that. You gotta narrate that one at some point.
Yeah, I mean, albeit I did try to take the canoe down like a small like waterfall, the kayak.
That's not a smart thing to do.
Could you untie me?
Yeah? All right, we've lost David because he went on ahead. But me and Plato are headed straight for this tree.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah, this guy's a freaking expert. I'm on the paddling method as well, but I'm just taking in some scenery. All right, we've canoed to our kayak to our destination, and something's wrong with me and Plato's kayak because it filled with water, but fortunately David's, which was carrying 90% of our stuff, didn't, and we just had a very enjoyable packed lunch here before we head off towards the cast, looking for caves, looking for snakes. You know how it be. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Look at that. Plato walking along the cave just before sunset outside the cave. It's not our protobothrid target. It's what's actually the rarer of the two kind of endemic vipers to this karst massif. This is what we believe. I mean, we feel like it can only be Trimerosaurus trungsongensis. We're not familiar with seeing individuals with no green at all on them. That's not what I've seen, but this viper is super rare. Like,
I mean, I've from the individuals I've seen in captivity, it doesn't necessarily look like trungsongensis to me. Like, especially look how bright the caudal lure is, even in a large adult.
I don't know. I've such a little familiarity with trungsongensis, but it's sitting really nicely here now. It was moving a bit before, and now it's coiled up beautifully here, and we can see finally one of our target vipers. It's funny, like, we were all in on the sieve because we heard from other people that these are impossible to find at this time of year. That, like, trungsongensis, these karst vipers, are impossible to find in the dry season. Like, you have almost no chance. So I didn't even mention it in the video because I felt like it would just be like an inevitable skunking. And yet here we have this really, really cool and unique viper. It's big as well, big for a karstic viper, really big. Put your finger like just near its tail so we can kind of see. Yeah, I mean, when it's stretched out, it's a good, like, I don't know, maybe like 70 centimeters around there, which is big for a karst viper.
But I don't recall Trung having a bright tail tip.
I don't know either. We've actually got service where we're herping right now, so that'd be cool if we could take a little look at this. But I'm going to stop videoing for now, even though this is a great view, and we can do a little bit of inspecting. All right, here's a better look at this snake. We had a little look online, and this is indeed a very, 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 very large, almost 80 centimeter long adult female Trimerosaurus trungsongensis, which is just amazing because, you know, I mentioned this before, but I never mentioned it in my videos over the last couple days just because I genuinely didn't think we had a shot at getting this. And I knew they were more common down here in this southern part of the range, which we came to today. But still, dry season observations of this species are super rare. But the Cephasaurum aren't in the caves, and that's an odd sign, and these guys are out. So I don't know what's going on this March, but I don't mind because tonight we're cooking. All right, so we just got back to where our bags are, about to photograph our little viperid, and I spotted another viperid in here, and it is Trimerosaurus CF macrops. So we just got two Trimerosaurus within a few minutes here. This guy was obviously here when we came up earlier, but in the daytime when we were poking about this cave would have been really hard to see. But I'm going to grab a quick phone photo and then we'll probably bring this guy out for a closer look. All right, we're not going to move this one out in the end. Everyone's happy just shooting a couple quick photos in situ and leaving it here. So here's a last look at what's our first green bean of the trip. Trimerosaurus macrops, the large-eyed pitch viper. All right, so good start, but the grind continues. We've got all night. Those finds came literally at sunset, just gone 7 p.m. Let's see if we can continue turning around our luck on this Laos trip. What the frick is stinging my neck, man? Some kind of ant, I guess, maybe some kind of wasp, I don't know. Just such a jungle. That's just the jungle though. It's how it is.
Oh God,
it's Steve! It's Steve! Bro, the guy... Plato just spotted Steve!
yes!
Come on, Plato, man!
Go!
You see that, guys? I see eyebrows. I see 3 horn scales. It's the 3-horn scaled pit viper.
The piss viper.
Your first ever proto.
I came through here intensely scanning, but I was like looking on the rocks, not up in the
I did not expect to find Steve. You know what, Plato? When David said it's Steve, I was about to be like, man, Plato, how did you fuck up that ID? but I would have also thought this was definitely Chungsungensif if I saw it up there. Oh my god.
I cannot believe it's just sitting on the branch like that.
It's beautiful.
That is insane. We should get it away from there though.
Yeah,
before
let's secure it.
disappears.
I'm turning my video off. All right, here you go. So I just filmed for a few seconds because we were way more concerned about getting it safely out of there than I was filming. But we got it out, we got it into a safe area, and we've calmed down a little bit, and now we can appreciate what is the #1 target of this part of our Laos trip. This is my first Protobothrops I've ever seen in the wild, and I've said to everyone will know, I've always said this is my favorite genus, but in the past, I've only been in range of Protobothrops kelamohu, which is the rarest one in Thailand, and I've only ever seen that one DOR. But this one at this time of year was supposed to be probably the easiest Protobothrops to find in Southeast Asia, even though, not Southeast Asia, at this time of year, from what we heard, this should be relatively easy to find here in Indochina in the limestone karst, but it has not been. The caves have been dead, even though the conditions seem perfect. But just outside the caves, this incredible little juvenile popped up in a place we never would have expected. And here you can see the, let me try and improve the light a bit. Yeah, there you go. You can see where it gets its name. 3-horn scaled pit viper. And this species is distributed from Laos, where we are now here, a little bit north of where we are, not too far north, and it ranges just through this karstic mountain range into Vietnam. And is by many considered quite rare, but at certain times of year, there's very particular caves hidden away on these limestone karsts where they can be regularly seen, but not this time. And honestly, all my friends who have been here in the past have not had luck in the caves either. They've just found them in the forest, where if you're herping here for a few days, one may show up, and that's exactly what happened here. I'm glad it's being cooperative for us on this rock. You can see the tail. This one is a juvenile. They get much bigger. They get a lot bigger than this. You can see my hand next to it. I don't think we got a view of it before, but there we go. You can see my hand next to this beauty. The juveniles have a nice gray coloration with these little tints of yellow. I don't know how well you can make those out. They're very visible to me to the eye. Not so much on this. You can definitely see them here. Nice. So the juveniles are generally more beautiful, although this one I think is just entering the early stages of shed, but we've caught it at a time where it can still look great. And this is, yeah, an incredible find. It's just amazing how we turned around 2 difficult days into something better than what I could have expected. I did not expect to get the Chungsungensif, and then a few minutes later, we do the double and get both of the endemic vipers to this karstic range. Absolutely fantastic. What a find. All right, so things almost got extremely truncated. So David went into the forest a little bit away from us while we were heading back, and he picked up this Trimeresurus macrops male you can see staring at me, and he dropped it here, handed it to Plato while he went to grab his camera gear out of his bag. And Plato basically advertised for everyone. Basically, Plato gave the best reason to upgrade to a new iPhone because these ones don't have a zoom function. So we went in close to take a picture, and as you pulled away, it just lunged out of nowhere and freaking bit him right 2 fangs in. It's a very diminutive bite. It was very brief, and fortunately only 1 fang punctured.
And it didn't inject venom.
But we were like, for a second, you know, we thought things might have got very truncated, and we'd have to get out of here.
We're good.
Fortunately, this lucky little prick got a dry bite, which I've been saying as well. I've been bitten by venomous snakes 2 times, and I got 0 dry bites from that. And this guy's 1 for 1 on dry bites. You lucky little bastard. What are your thoughts on the situation?
I wasn't expecting it to bite that far and that fast because it didn't seem very annoyed. I just let it crawl on the branch. But I guess never let your guard down because these fuckers bite. And also, I've got to say, Trimeresurus CF macrops, officially the worst green bean of all time.
Bro, I literally completely forgot that this guy was hating on macrops so much before he ever saw it. He was saying macrops is the worst green bean. And on his first encounter with macrops tonight, he gets freaking bitten by it. That is karma right there. You shouldn't have hated so much on macrops.
I'm so hating, fuck that.
You've got more reason to hate now, for sure. All right, we just got back to our little base camp near where we parked the canoes after what's been an accumulation of all the struggle we've been on so far.
Show them the sweat.
Yeah, I'm I don't know, there's nothing that is dry. I know I got wet in the boat, but I'm even more wet now than I was in the boat, which Plato actually said would happen. So I guess he was right about that. But holy crap, guys, that's crazy. It's like 8 something PM already, and we just killed it out here. Let's go. You took your light off me, man. What the? Okay, we made our way back to our boats. Our food is intact, unanted. We floated our food out to the water on the boat, tying it to here to avoid ants. And
actually, Rupert, can you... Wait.
We're on our Amazon River type beat right now. Just peacefully cruising through this valley. I'll tell you, being in David's boat, it's a much more peaceful experience, but I believe Plato's back there. Yeah, he's still back there somewhere. Ah, it's great not to be soaking wet. Me and David were discussing whether it would be possible, and it sure is. There's a gonyosoma sleeping above this river here. Yeah, so Plato's arrived and we got a way better angle of what is a huge gonyosoma sleeping up there. Yeah, you can see it properly now. So thick at the mid-body, absolutely massive. This is a species that in Thailand you can reliably find if you kayak at night along these kind of slow-flowing streams. But great to see one out here in Laos too, a gonyosoma which has not been eaten yet.
Drop down the big doofus.
Pull. Pull.
I got it, don't worry. I got it.
Okay. Grandiose!
That thing weighs a freaking ton! Why did you grab it like that? Why did you grab it like that? You had all the time in the world to grab it normally.
That has to be the most massive gonyo. It's like as thick as Plato's wrist.
Worth the effort.
Holy crap!
All right, here you go, guys. You can see this freaking snake. Worth getting down, because this is probably the biggest gonyosoma I've ever seen in the flesh. Like, obviously I've seen some big ones in my time. I'm just being a bit careful because, as you would have seen, it chewed on Plato's arm. But yeah, look at that. We reckon it's a 2-meter long gonyosoma oxycephalum here. What's up?
Nothing?
You like shine the light off for a second and looked away. Everything good?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is such a cool find here, man. Like, going along this river, like kayaking through like it's the freaking Amazon rainforest, where in the Amazon you can see so many snakes like sleeping above the trees. And we were wondering if we were going to pick up a snake on the way back. And we picked up this freaking amazing gonyosoma. Like, look at those pale bands on the body. It's puffing a little bit and I'm just being very cautious, but check that out, man. Let me get a bit more of its, like, show a bit more of its size if possible. It's doing the classic thing they do where they wrap their tail constantly. But you see, this is considerably longer than I am tall. Like,
Can't even fit it in frame.
let me go up here. Like, so much longer than I am tall. It actually is insane. Holy crap, what a cool snake. And that catch was something else as well. Like, that was really some next level balancing on that boat with that flimsy ass twig, and somehow we managed to get it down. How freaking cool is that? Amazing. Yeah, here you go. Maybe you can see a little bit better in my hand now, this monster gonyosoma. I'm feeling a little bit better about it not biting because I've been handling it for a little while. Not the most like blacks on it, but you see it does have some nice blacks between the scales and the anterior, and it's just so huge. Like, this is amazing. What a freaking find out here at the end of the night after I thought all the good stuff had come already. We go and kayak along the river and get this freaking beaut with one of the coolest catches we've had in a while. Please don't bite me. Please don't bite me. Okay, I'm turning off. After a bit more excitement, we're back off, and Plato's just going to put the gonyo back and it will climb right back into that big overhanging tree. Such a cool place, such a typical, very, very typical place to get these sleeping at night. And this one, despite the locals' eating habits, reached an unprecedented size. Incredibly impressive. We reckon around 2.2 meters. All right, that's it for our adventure, guys.
You pull me to shore so I can...
Yes.
And pull me slowly so I don't lose balance.
Go.
Maybe also grab that fork and spoon.
All right, welcome to the next day. So we just basically took the daytime off, no herping, today, but it's getting towards sunset now, and we're just up here at the viewpoint observing these incredible natural knives of Camoan, which is pretty damn cool actually. And after this, I'm gonna go grab some food and head out for our last night of herping. Not gonna go crazy tonight because we have to be up a lot earlier than usual tomorrow, right? Strange small man? Yeah, dude. Anyway, check this out, man. It's freaking incredible. Some of the coolest landscape ever. All right, we've already checked out one spot tonight. I ran an intro there, but we got on the, well, let's just say we're on the McSkunkington meta. We've been herping for over 2 hours already, and we've seen nothing. So we're going back to the same spot where we've also seen nothing the last few nights when we went here. But it's the closest to our place, and a lot of sieve have been spotted here. Like, that's what we want. We want a big one tonight, because we got a juvenile and it was a tinsy bit in shed, which is a little bit whack. But here's fingers crossed that we can unskunk ourselves and find something here. Motivation isn't too high in the camp because we already found our main targets, but let's see what we can do. Come on. Man, it wasn't particularly hard to find snakes the last few nights, but I don't know what happened tonight. I was expecting it to be better, especially as the moon's getting less and less by the day, but we're riding the McSkunkington meta tonight. I've split up from the guys momentarily, like desperately trying to find something, but might have to cut this entire section from the video at this current rate. But you know, keep watching, because if this is in there, it means we found something. So stay tuned, please. I'm just speaking into existence right now. Yes, Plato. Oh, no.
Get that bee on the hook.
Look, it's bigger, it's more beautiful. All right, guys, so I had to truncate that filming originally very shortly because we were in like the worst place possible to film it. So Plato spotted it in the crevice. Wow, he's striking at me now, look. And I saw it disappearing into a hole, and I just went gung-ho and grabbed it by the tail, and it came out, fangs flying. Fortunately, I expected that, and just the area we were in, there was so much potential for it to escape, and this one is a bitey boy. And that said, it is absolutely fantastic. Not the giant one we were hoping for, but a huge improvement from the one from yesterday. A little bit bigger, with a much bigger head, probably a young female, and also quintessentially not in shed, meaning that the eye is super clear, and we can see this awesome snake in all its glory with the 3 horns. Hold on, let me focus that up for y'all. 3 horns visible right there above the eye from where it gets its name. There's a little bit of an ant party going along here, but let me pass the video to Plato for a second. Turn your light on, bro.
Yep.
And then crouch down. And I'll just, for the very last seconds of this video, our first trip to Laos, I'm going to jump in front of the camera briefly and try my best to show you this snake a little bit. Now, I'm not going to be doing much hand grabbing of this one, because as you can see, it is a very angry little man or woman. I suspect woman, just because the head, even though it's not much longer than the last one, it's a little bit more robust and a little bit more with a large head as well. Is my light on? I think it is a tiny bit. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize my light was on then. But yeah, what a freaking conclusion to the night. We were on the official struggle bus this evening. But no more. We got an even better example of our main target species, which should be in the caves at this time of year, but for some reason, they're just not. I don't understand why. It is bone dry here, but it just shows we just don't know much about the ecology of snakes. We only know a little bit, and this is certainly not a snake that's been seen many times by people. It has quite a narrow range through this karstic mountain range, going from Laos and just touching into Vietnam. So they're not particularly often seen, even though a lot of people would say they've got great abundancy in this area. But yeah, this is a fantastic way to end the night. We're so tired. Everyone just wants to go back to the room because we've got to get up early tomorrow. But one snake tonight, and it's our main target. Let's go. All right, checking in from the car on the way back to the resort for what may be the final clip from Laos, but it's been fantastic. We came here at a very difficult time of year for herping, and the one thing that we thought it was going to be good for, it wasn't, but we still managed to pull through, and we had a fantastic 4 days here. Let's go. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to see the second half of our Laos trip, head on over to the Rupert's Reptiles Patreon, where it will be posted as a Patreon exclusive full-length herping video and features some really special stuff actually. So head on over there if you want to see that. The link is in the description, and I'll catch you very soon. Peace.